Remi here from the X's and O's team, and I'm here with another special guest. We got Andy Owusu, my guy.
You say
GB running back, representing and that. You know, fresh from Finland, fresh from Euro.
Amen.
What you saying, my guy, man? You good?
I'm blessed despite everything going on. I'm very blessed. I'm healthy and I'm happy, so it's nothing more I can ask in there.
Yeah, I feel you, my guy, man. As long as we all good. So yeah, let's get right into this thing, man. So tell me, Andy, man, how did you get into American football, bro?
Started off 5 years ago.
Right.
I was in sixth form at the time, and my friend was playing rugby, and they needed players to be on the team in it. So they hit me up, like, "Yo, bro, you know, come rugby. We just need some spare players." That was Southwark Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, and I was like, "Come." So we went to rugby, and after the rugby game, one of the friends was like, "Yo, let's go to Peckham. They have the American football team over there that's training."
Mad.
And it was the South London Renegades. And I was like, all right, cool, you know what? Let's see what happens in it. So we went to South London, went to Peckham, met Coach Steve.
Right.
That guy's a legend, man. Put me up. And then you're just trying out different positions, like what you're going to do, what you're good at. At the time, I wasn't as big, but I was fast in it. You know, I got the burners in it. So I put the ball in my hand, did a couple of drills, and that was it. Like,
That's all shit, right, yeah?
Straight up. But yeah, that was it, man.
So you're saying Southwark Tigers, Peckham.
South London Renegades. I mean, that team just produced a bunch of gems. That FA were there. FA was there. FA
Wow,
was there.
Abada from the Panthers, yeah?
Panthers.
Shout out to X's and O's team, alright? I feel about it right here.
Tiggy, I was on the same, like, he played the same year as me. We was on the same junior team, actually, yeah. Tiggy
Wow.
Sanko, he's Cleveland Browns now. Yeah, he's at the Browns now. So it's just some big teams.
Shit, that's something I didn't know. I didn't know the Renegades were...
Yeah, they produce a
Players.
lot. Yeah, we got a lot of smoke, bro, but they don't get enough credit for it. So, you know,
Yeah, I
hold
hate
tight,
it.
South London Renegades. And
Yeah, interesting. All that's left is for you to go in NFL now, bro.
I'm waiting.
Alright, so off that, bro, how long you been playing? And during this time, what teams did you play for?
Right now, we're hitting 5 years, if not 6. I
Right.
started off in 2015 with South London Renegades, played 1 year of junior football with them. Then I hit the 18 gap, went to London Olympians. I was
Right.
there for the whole of my university period as well. So during uni, I went to Coventry University Jets, won a bunch of championships with them.
Wow.
London Olympians, great football team, great coaches set me up. And then from there, went to my first year in Europe, which was last year, 2019. Went to the Pori Bears in Finland.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's in, how do they call the league again? Vantra Liga or something
Yeah,
like
I can't pronounce it.
that.
But yeah, over there it was just crazy. Like my first year of like professional football, amazing. Set up like a great standard. Put my name out there, and now I'm on board, signed with the Kiel Baltic Hurricanes.
Oh, GFL?
Yeah, GFL1, my guy.
Hey.
God willing, we still have like some sort of a season when this whole thing ends, innit? But yeah,
Amen,
that's
man.
the next move.
Amen. That's lit, my guy. Damn, so what was Finland like?
Amazing. I went in there not knowing what to expect in terms of like the football quality and in terms of like the life of just like an athlete. And my mind was just blown. Like in terms of training, how like committed the people were, how committed the community was as well, how much people invested, the fans, like playing a game with a stadium full of fans and it's like everyone just screaming. Not necessarily your name, but you know, people are screaming.
Yeah, of course,
you know what
man. I feel you.
It's a different atmosphere than playing like, you know, uni where you got like 10 people on the sideline. You know?
Long way from Britball, my guy.
It's a long way away. It's different and it's amazing because it brings out a different level of competition and a different side of like you that you didn't know was there. When you have people performing, like you set a standard for yourself in it, and they're there to witness it. So you have to hit the peak no matter what happens. And it was great. It was great.
Wow, so off like competition and level and that. Obviously, you played in BAFA. What are you saying? Is the level of football higher in Finland than it is in here in the UK?
Yeah, I would say yeah, because they've invested a lot in their football in terms of the coaches,
right?
In terms of the athletes, in terms of like the facilities that they have. Like the team I went to, they have a dome that we could practice in any time of day. Like it was ours. We could go there. We don't have that in the UK. You know what I mean? The community was there. We had like restaurants and shops and hotels all invested. The players were treated as they should be treated. They were treated like, you know, like stars because we put in, you know, we put work in and it's recognized by the community, and that it was amazing just to like have that feeling and have that recognition. But in terms of focusing specifically on football, like I mentioned, the coaches, they get coaches imported. Coaches do like lessons abroad and stuff like that and come in. You don't really get a lot of that over here. They get, and I guess it's a lot to do with funds, but they manage to sort out their stuff and they know priorities. And they have the coaches. When one of my coaches was an ex NFL player for the Pori Bears, Falcons player. So it's just like you're actually in contact with those who've done it at the highest level in the world, and you don't really get a lot of that over here, apart from if you go like Warriors or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's just a different level of involvement, a different level of coaching that will then bring out a different level of athlete that you can find. You know what I mean? You could get a lot of ballers here, like no doubt, but without the proper coaching and proper guidance, we're not going nowhere, bro.
Yo, I hear you, man. Like, I asked this question to a couple of people, and they were just like, I think the biggest difference is a lot. The whole country is like behind the sport more than
that's the thing. It's
recognized here, innit? And
it's
the filter's down, man. Well, so word on the grapevine is you're in Canada, or you went to CFL Combine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What we saying?
4-5, bro.
Yeah. Mad.
I was fortunate enough to lay out a plan for my 2020, and like, praise be to God, everything sort of came true in it. So I finished university, took a year out before doing my masters, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply for the CFL thing. I'm gonna try to get myself in a professional league in the year 2020. If that doesn't happen, then I'll go back to studies in it.
Got you.
And then I'm sitting there, coach hits me up, we can put this through. Before that, what projected me was me playing for GB.
So
so
GB
that's
put you on a map.
Literally put me on a map, put me on the platform, had people like recognizing the talent that we actually have.
Shout out GB, innit?
Shout out GB. And then, so we applied for it, just shooting our shot. We got an email back, thankfully successful, went to the combine. Crazy athletes, man, athletes.
That's what I'm saying. What was that like? Like, obviously, when you get there, it's best of the best, at least it should be. And it's like, how did you find yourself competing? Like, happy with your performance?
I would say it is the best that we could produce, barring one or two players here and there. Obviously, not everyone's going to be up for it. Everyone has the same circumstances. But when I was there, I was just like looking around, the names that I've been hearing, like the numbers that people have been putting up, you could actually see it. And it was just like, in the room, just pure athletes and GB, you know what I mean? So it was like having to compete with somebody who I've heard things about like years ago and actually seen them like winning this and winning that, and now they're just standing there in front of me. I'm like, do I actually measure up to this person? Am I meant to be like in this room with them? You know what I mean? Like, do I deserve to be here? Because I don't have that many accolades as like this person does or that person does.
For sure.
But then it was like, what calmed me down was like, if I wasn't meant to be here, I wouldn't. If I couldn't compete with these guys, I wouldn't be here.
Word.
And putting down, when we got to work, putting in the numbers, a lot of like competition kicked in. And it was like, you've done stuff when you're practicing in the gym or when you're practicing on the field, but when you are in the place with other people who like are going to take your spot, something comes out at you, and like you can put that extra bench in, you can get that extra rep in, you know what I mean? You could get that extra like second shaved off your time, and it was just great. It was great. Like something just happened, and it could have been better, obviously, but I'm happy with my performance that I put up in the combine, man. It was great. We're still waiting. Yeah. They still have some choices to make, but they made their first official choices, which is great athletes as well. But I'm still putting out hope that 2020 is not over, man.
Hey, God willing, my guy, man.
Amen.
So off that, like, how hard do you work? Like, how important is training, bro?
I would say my attitude to that has been changed depending on where I was. So before Europe, training was something that I did maybe once or twice a week with the team. And that is the standard here as well. Like, team comes out twice a week, this and that. Going to Europe, it wasn't even the team, it was the guys that I was living with. We're gonna hit gym every day. Like, I was literally sleeping and they'll wake me up, in the morning, 9 o'clock, let's go, it's gym time. And I was like, why are we going gym? You know what I mean? After like, I put everything aside, it became a pattern, it became routine.
Right.
And that's just like, that's the level you should be putting into that work. You hit gym, even if you have training on the same day, you hit gym, you do your things you do, you go into the pitch, you're practicing on your own before you go into practice with others. So I've now become coming to the routine where practicing is very important, where I've now started to, even by myself, I go to the park and I'm doing stuff on the floor. I'm doing, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get that work in because there's people out there that I have to compete with and they're putting in the work. So as you know, Glenn always says, outwork everybody. So I'm just trying to, you know, I'm trying to compete. So whatever I have to do, I do.
Hey, okay, man. Damn. So obviously you're repping GB, out there playing international games. Tell me, what was it like to represent your country?
It was just very surreal. It was an honor. It was just crazy, just being given that opportunity to be up there with like the best in the country, and just having the badge like on your chest just gives you a different like level of confidence. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Like when I'm on the bus or I'm on the train and I'm going there, or even when we're at the airport, you have people coming in and they can see like you're holding this weight on your shoulder. They want to ask you about it, like what team do you play for? Like what are you competing in? This and that, and then they innately wish you good luck because you're representing for us. It's no longer like an individual thing where you're competing with each other in the country.
Word.
You're now representing to the rest of the world, and it's like being put on TV, having the clips out there on like YouTube, having like commentators and the fans. It was just crazy, man. It was great. I love like being able to achieve something, and this was one of the goals I had when I started football. I wanted to do GB, I wanted to go Europe, and then go professional. And so far, thankfully, I'm just being able to tick a lot of the things off of my list, man. So I'm grateful, very grateful.
Hey, bro, that's lit, man. That's freaking lit, man. So I'm trying to think, like all these GB, Finland, GFL, like everything, all in all. What's your best football memory till date?
Oh, best football memory. It would have to be one with the Coventry University Jets. One of the games where I was going through a lot that day, like a lot of family stuff was going on abroad, back home, all that kind of stuff. And then I was like having an emotional day, stepped onto the pitch, game day, mind's clear. Right? Now, I wasn't even ready. I came from London to Coventry at 6 a.m. that morning. I got the train from London to Coventry. So I had barely slept, barely drank any water, and my body was going through it. I was suffering. I was getting cramps. I was throwing up. But everything that was thrown at me, I get through it. I get back up, lid on, back on the pitch, man. Running the ball. That's one of the days where I was like, you could see when somebody has a passion for something, and I realized my passion for the sport was a lot stronger than anything that I was feeling or anything that was going on, I was going through in that time. And even same time, I've had a moment like that in Finland where I was physically injured. Bust my groin, and we had a game, it was the finals game. And obviously I'm the starting RB. I can't really, be showing any weakness, but I was messed up, bro. And I was running. We started losing the game. And I realized this is on me, like it's on my back. I have to now pick up the slack and start pushing the team. So I just literally, I tried to ignore my body as much as I could, and I was just pounding the ball. We started making a comeback, but before we could, get everything in gear, the game was over. But it was just like that mental state that I've realized I can go into. That's what creates those memories, that I can get into that physical state where it's like I've switched things off, and my main priority now is football. I have to complete the first down. I have to get this rock past that line. I have to get that touchdown. That's it. And when I get into those that zone, memories are created, man.
Hey, Andy, that's late, man. That's a hell of an experience still. So, outside of football, my guy, who are you?
That is a very good question. Outside of the football, I'm a I'm trying to do clinical psychology. I'm a psychology graduate.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my master's in clinical psychology. I'm a family guy.
Brains in the brown, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm trying to achieve, I have goals that I have to achieve for my family and goals that I have to achieve for myself.
What?
And you have to be able to balance both. You can't choose one or the other. There's not by force either football or road or I'm dying. We're not in that option. We're blessed enough to be in a country where you don't have those pressures on you.
Word.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to just get as many things on my plate as I can and just take everything that the world has given me. So love my family, love music, love my academics as well. I'm a big science guy. So when it's time to hit the library, I hit the library. When it's time to hit the gym, I hit the gym. And it's a great balance that I've found. And I'm happy to sort of keep that as me. That's me.
Hey, Andy, man, happy to hear it, bro. Like, really admire your determination. And, bro, just wish you the best of luck for the future.